For centuries, the black race was made to feel and be treated as inferior, especially in the South. But the beauty of black resilience, a little hatred, well, if we're being real here, a lot of hatred and racism doesn't stop the train. Instead, it actually fuels it. See, black inventors were just sprouting up everywhere across the country. Up north, where escaped slaves would settle in, and in the South, when freedom was finally given to them. For instance, as women made their way outside to dry their washed clothes, pinned them up to dry by the light of the sun and the warmth of the wind, started to look like a dated and difficult way to do a weekly chore. So in 1892, George T. Sampson created the clothes dryer to be a more convenient and effective way to get a fresh, dry load of laundry. Sarah Boone not only found the current way to iron said laundry more difficult than it had to be, so she improved the board to be more slender for garments that don't need the space of a big slab to do a small piece. A patent still used in the modern way ironing boards are made today. Another Sarah Good, when living in a smaller residence, found a way to get the most out of a small space. Her invention of the folding cabinet bed made it easy to rest at night and move about during the day. This led her to opening a furniture store after moving to Chicago and offering more furniture pieces to those with limited spaces. Then you have the doorknob, the doorstop, even the curtain rod and the support for it. Black inventions that every household has been improved by. Then, time in the household will be forever changed by Benjamin Banneker's invention. His curiosity was sparked when he took apart a pocket watch to study its design. Inspired and informed, he then created the first clock out of wooden pieces. He went on to open his own clock and watch repair business along with other great accomplishments. Then you have a man that saw a flaw in Edison's design of the light bulb. This replacement cycle of the bulb was getting rather tedious, and Louis Latimer started working on some improvements. See, the light bulb worked, but it didn't last very long, so he made a light bulb with a more durable filament out of carbon. The original design worked, Latimer made it work better.
Just because something works doesn't mean that it cannot be improved.
Now, black people were no strangers to the dangers surrounding them. A locked door didn't suffice any longer for a woman named Mary Van Brittan Brown. She needed more security. So she created a home security unit to install in her own home. Realizing the benefits the system had, her and her husband patented it, and now the very security systems used by millions can thank her for her wit and creativity. Speaking of creativity, one of America's greatest inventors, holding 50+ patents, when a need to transport food to stores and blood and plasma to war zones and hospitals, Frederick McKinley Jones created the first ever refrigeration unit for trucks and railroad cars. Food, blood, and other things that need to stay cool would otherwise spoil. He was hailed a hero because of all the lives that he was able to save, being able to transport these things safely. Transportation was increasing more from trains and buses to personal vehicles. Garrett Morgan saw a flaw with the previous traffic light that only had red and green. It wasn't until Garrett, the first black man to own a car in Cleveland back then, witnessed a bad accident at an intersection known to have too many close calls and collisions. Obviously, the red light going straight to green was problematic. So he created the 3-light traffic light, centered a cautionary yellow light in between to alert drivers when the light was going to change, stopping many wrecks from happening. He sold his patent to General Electric for $40,000. That is over $600,000 in today's money. But he didn't blow it like many people would, especially nowadays. He continued to help the black community. Now, the community nationwide was at risk of being yet another accident of the elevator shaft if you weren't paying close attention or you were just distracted or in a rush. Because of its design, the doors had to manually be opened and closed. Alexander Miles was on an elevator with his daughter when he noticed the shaft doors were left open. This is a hazard that caused many casualties, which is why many places hired elevator operators to manually open and close the shaft doors. For those with no operators, it was left to the riders to do it for themselves, and the shaft doors ended up being left open. He created a belt attached to the elevator, and when it went over the drums that were positioned above and below the floor, the doors automatically opened and closed, preventing someone from falling down an elevator shaft. The doors only opened to the elevator actually being available, thanks to Alexander Miles. And also thanks to John Albert Burr, who improved the lawnmower, Joseph A. Smith, who invented the lawn sprinkler, John Purdy, who invented the folding chair, Paul E. Williams, who patented the first useful helicopter. The point of its creation was to fly. And one prior inventor failed at this, but Paul did what the other guy couldn't do, creating components for his aircraft to maintain flight, hence useful. As people are airlifted for rescue, or news crews reporting live in the sky, or simply riding for enjoyment, Paul Williams is to thank for that. So many inventions, from the fire extinguisher to the egg beater, the pacemaker, the fire escape ladder, potato chips, peanut butter, even the protective mailbox designed by Philip B. Downing that is still used by the post office to this very day, all contributed to making life better and more convenient. But not without inventions that call for a little fun, thanks to a man that holds over 100 patents and best known for creating the toy gun, the Super Soaker. Lonnie Johnson, while working for NASA by day, one evening, he was in his bathroom playing with ideas of attempting to create a refrigeration system that used water instead of hazardous Freon. So he hooked a nozzle to his bathroom sink and accidentally shot a water stream across the bathroom. He paused and thought, this would make a great gun. And the Super Soaker, formerly named the Power Drencher, idea was made. Now, unfortunately, in order to get it in stores, the amount needed in order to create 1,000 Super Soakers was far too steep for him to fulfill. The idea was at a standstill until a toy production company took interest. So he updated his prototype. During the conference, he shot water across the conference room, and that was it. They were sold. It hit shelves in 1990, and in 1991, he rebranded the name, and sales soared with over 2 million Super Soakers sold. And the one invention that we can thank Henry T. Sampson for, as many of us hold the modern version in the palm of our hand, he co-invented the Gamma Electric cellular phone in 1971. Because of his technology, it opened the door for many more experiments, advancing the phone to what we have today. From the bulky phones to the Nokia to the Razor to the smartphone. All of these inventions by Black inventors. And the interesting fact is, I didn't even name them all. All of the inventors and each inventor's inventions, because many held several patents. One key thing all these brilliant inventors did, they all patented their work. If I missed one that didn't, that's just one out of many who did, but nevertheless, they all knew it was important that nobody take what they created or what they improved as their own. Secure your idea, then sell it. The idea gets the bag.